guys, and welcome to another episode of Public Whitetail. We're coming out to one of our original spots Taylor showed us to about 2 years ago now, and we've seen trails coming in and out of this area. Taylor and Zach have been out here separately. We're definitely checking out for more sign, more trails, and I'm also looking for a new walking stick because mine just broke.
So like he was saying, we came out to another spot that I showed them a couple years ago. I walked out at the edge of this place last year during rifle season. There's a cornfield on the other side, and you come up this hill up onto this little ridge here. There's a ravine that comes down, so it kind of channels them from the cornfield, coming between two ridges, going through a ravine, and there's a little itty bitty little pond down there. When I walked through this during rifle season last year, it was just absolutely polluted with buck rubs and trails. So I know they're using this cornfield, and I know they're coming down in here into this little swampy area. I know these bucks are cruising these ridge lines and whatnot, so we wanted to come up here, get an idea of where the trails are, where the sign is, and get on them this season.
This is another thing we talk about on our website and at the beginning of all this. We all enjoy the sport of hunting, but in the be-all and end-all, I'm not a big tree hugger, or whatever you want to call those people that are just super sensitive to everything anymore. But I do know this: pick up your trash when you get out of the woods. But if you're scouting and you come up on something like this and it doesn't look like anything dangerous, go ahead and pick it up, throw it in your bag, take it on out with you. Animals get a hold of this, they start chewing and munching on this, we're going to have less and less to hunt. Stay hydrated.
They come up.
Where are they?
They come down. I think they come down from there and come work their way up at an angle.
Yeah,
That or just
it opens up down there.
Yeah, follow this all the way. Walking on the angle, looking for this all the time. They're all just using this whole hillside and running up. Where they're coming from?
Okay, Zach, what do you think you're seeing out here right now?
I mean, in the beginning it was kind of tough because we walked the ridge line and weren't exactly sure where they were going, but we came down a little and there's a creek bed that follows this down. We're seeing sign here, so it's promising. We just got to figure out where they're going. Like Taylor's been saying, to bedding or food. That's the only question, and you know, the access points to where they're going off this creek. But Taylor said, he said there's a used trail up there, a pretty heavily used trail, so that's some good sign too. So we'll just keep at it and see what's going on in this spot. Stay hydrated.
I lost you behind the trees.
See what I'm saying?
Okay, now come.
Right up that way. Yeah. That's where I was looking at.
Yeah, but the trail's right here. There's a trail right here.
Uh-huh.
There's a trail. So
I
he's
know.
on a trail.
That's what I'm saying.
This trail leads up
They're
right to
either
here.
cutting up here because this is a big main trail. I mean, you can see it clearly. And I can see the other. Once you pointed it out, I can see the other one.
Mm-hmm.
He's running right here.
So then you've got access going to that field over there, dropping down in this little ravine here, and then you've got one running this ridge line and another one cutting lower. I've already picked out a tree up here to overlook right here.
So does it meet up by that pine tree, I'm assuming?
There's a tree right. This is a possibility. I'm trying to see. Maybe the twin trees. One of us is on one, the other one's on the other.
Oh, yeah, right there.
It's those. 14, but then come about 2 yards in, so you're looking at 12 yards.
So that big tree, you can see all those small trees. Right when they start heading up, that's 38 yards. See those 4 small trees? Yep, so if you stand right there, see a patch of, see those 4 small trees, that big one right in the middle?
Yeah.
That's 38 yards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's still a range.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, guys, we got some good footage on the bottom in this hollow, but Taylor, tell us what you just discovered here about 5 minutes ago.
Well, right to my right, we found a nice tree here. The bottom that we were walking, we found a nice trail that comes along the side of this ridge, and then we found where they're coming from the other field down in the bottom here, up onto this side, and they're either following it down or they're following it up. And we found where it meets, and we ranged it. It's about 12 yards from this tree. Was it 3 trails meet up right there? That's what we were looking for. We were walking this ridge down, seeing where they're meeting, where these trails are meeting, and we finally found it. Catch them going to and from.
Zach, do you find it often that we find like multiple trails running parallel?
Oh yeah, lots of times, especially if they're going to ag fields. You'll have 2 or 3 going to one access point, what we call an access point. So, you know, like Taylor said, we saw 2 or 3 going to, there's a pine tree about
30 yards.
30 yards to our right, your left. You know, that 2 trails meet up, so they're definitely taking this trail to some type of food source or bedding. So we're real excited, about that tree and to see what happens.
Full sand right there.
Trails coming down.
This and right here. They're hopping over this log because that's broke down here.
So what? And then that's
I bet you they're crossing down to the road. They skip the road and then head to the other side to bed.
Well, I don't know. There's not much trees or thick stuff over there. It's a lot of fingerling fields.
In the beginning, it gets thicker as you push on through. And there's water flowing along the road over there too. They got a better water source across the road there.
All kicked up right here. That's from last year. That's a small buck though. Keep walking up. So we came down here off this point, and that other trail that Zach was talking about loops around the edge of this ridge here, comes out to the edge of this point, meets up, and it keeps on going down in this low spot, doing exactly what we thought was going to happen. Was where what Matt was talking about, is they're jumping the road, they're hitting the swamp area over there, and they're cutting up over into the thicker stuff, where some finger fields up there. So we've definitely got a good travel way through here. I figured they would be coming off this point of this ridge, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're dropping down into this little low spot, hopping the field, or hopping the road, sorry, going up into the fields.
Just doing this, I was talking to Keith.
Oh, that's a nice track right here. It's a good track.
That's a good track.
Yeah.
They're all going towards you up
Right.
this hill.
But they're coming in from this side and they're walking right across. Yep.
and they're following this trail, so that really tells us that they are following down that ridge, coming off that point, dropping down in here, and they're escaping. I wonder if they're not even going all the way up. I wonder if they're just taking it and then dropping it down over the road.
Because that's what I say. Sometimes they'll drive through here and they'll be running past.
Oh yeah, I know.
They'll be jumping across that road.
All right, what are we seeing here, bud?
All right, so when we came off down the pinch off of the ridge and we dropped down this low spot, we were actually walking back to the vehicles because we're not too far off the road to where it drops down and goes right to the road. And Zach walked over to the edge there because he was walking down the little creek there and noticed some tracks coming up on this hillside. And I looked over and I said, well, that looks like a place where they would hang out in bed. And Zach found 2 trails coming up on here, and we come up here and we're finding beds over here, found a nice shrub back there a little ways. There's some pine trees up in here. It's just super thick.
Yeah.
I mean, this is perfect. And by the way, the sign's going is that, like we were saying, they're coming down off that ridge, dropping on this low spot, and they're coming up here to bed during the daytime. So that tree stand that we picked out, or the tree that we picked out for a stand, we're catching them coming down off that ridge before they get to their bedding. I think that's going to be ideal. I mean, we just, they walk by, just something to rub on, and they keep going, just hanging out in here. They obviously got plenty of food in here. I mean, we've got some berries here, just got all sorts of greens to just munch on while they're in here. There's a couple escape routes going out the back. It's just super thick in here. This is awesome. This is what we just stumbled up upon. I like it. It's a good sign.
Yeah.
This way.
How many do you see?
I see one this way, and I see one went up. One goes out right back there. That's what I want.
Come back here. Any comments? We definitely want to know.
Oh, if you look to the left, they're laying right there too.
Good. I'm seeing real curious neighborhood too. How close are we to that field now that we crossed up over?
What app are we using right here?
We are using Onyx. I'll tell you what, it's probably one of the best apps I've ever used.
Okay guys, we just finished the second half of our scout for the day. Went down and checked the camera that we've had on a previous episode. We'll have some excellent pictures of some trail footage along with this video. We're going to go home and analyze the pictures a little more. We did see some activity, but we saw a lot of pictures of thick foliage. So there's probably some animals in there. We just have to get it on a little bit bigger screen than a cell phone to actually get a good idea of what's coming through. But we definitely know there's still travel going through here. We're going to let these cameras completely alone, at least for the next several weeks, until Taylor and Zach decide where they're going to hang their stands at for the upcoming season. and we'll find out what we got at that point. We'll check cameras one last time before the beginning of the season. So, till then, stay hydrated.